Okay, so first of all, I want to just go through the submission requirements because some of you were not there in class. It's going to be on the 26th on Saturday, right? And the final submission is going to be an A5 color printed booklet. The booklet is going to have 16 pages, which is basically 4 A4 pages printed front to back, folded in half. So what are the 16 pages? The 16 pages are you're going to have one front cover page, right? One back cover page, and then one blank page, which goes right after the cover on the left side, so that your text can actually start on the right side. One prompts page, 6 image pages, and then 6 text pages. These are the images that you've created in class today. Make sure that you bring 2 copies and use thick paper to print. Because thin paper, if you print images on a very thin paper, then your image could probably be seen from the back side. Because you're going to print front and back, make sure you use thick paper and make sure you staple it. I will not be accepting loose pages, okay? So that's for the requirements. So as you can see, these are all count up to 16, 12 and then 4, okay? First of all, start off on Google Chrome browser. If you use any other browser, then it's going to create trouble late in the later parts of this tutorial, okay? So I'm assuming that you are on your manifesto page in Google Docs. If you're not, if you had uploaded a Word file or something, make sure that you copy paste it onto a Google Doc. So I'm assuming that it looks something like this. Some of you have seen that you have a lot of paragraphs joined, so don't do that. Create spaces between paragraphs and make it look nice and clean and readable. Okay, so this, as you can see, is 2 pages. Okay, and if you go into word count, it says 2 pages and then 1000 words exactly. So your manifesto is also going to be about 1000 words. This page, like I said, is an A4 size page. What we want is an A5 size. So I'll go here, I'll go to page setup, and then make sure these all settings are enabled, and then go to A5. Okay, and here in page color, I'm going to choose maybe this one. So you can choose whatever color you want based on the vibe that you're looking for. Maybe you want to use similar colors which are there in the image. That's up to you. But make sure that the contrast between the background of the page, the background color, and the text is very clear. So the text should be completely readable. I will not accept again text. If it is not readable, then that's not a good print. So be mindful about this, right? So let's choose a very light color here, and then I'm going to change this to 0.75. So make this 0.75 everywhere and apply to whole document. So I'm going to click OK. So a few things, as you can see, have changed here. One is that instead of 2 pages, now we have 4 pages. The page size has changed to A5, and the color also has changed. Make sure that this text is actually not 4 pages but 6 pages, right? I'm going to go to edit, select all. You can also press Ctrl A if you are familiar with that, and then choose 1.5 and see what happens. So if I choose 1.5, now it has turned it into 5 pages. But you know what, actually I'm not really fond of this font, so I'm going to change this and change the font to bottom, okay, normal. So you can use the same font, or you can change to something that you like. It's completely up to you. See, I have left, there's an error here, so I'm going to change that, making sure that all my paragraphs are separated and neat. And now we have about 6 pages. Okay, so I want to break up even this paragraph because it looks very big, so I'm going to break that up and make it like this. And so now we have a nice and neat 6 pages. Okay, I'm going to increase the font a little bit more, make it 12, and I'm going to make it left aligned. So this is up to your personal preferences, right? But as long as it is 6 pages, which here it's not, so let's see what I can adjust. So as long as it's not, it's readable and clean, maybe I can try 11.5. And so now I have created 6 pages exactly. Perfect. So I'll split this up, and so this is what it's going to look like, which is great. Okay, so now that my 6 pages of text are set up, I'm going to add the cover page. So I'm going to use the template text from here, which is this, right, and add it here on top. I'm going to select a different font for this, so I'm going to make it this, and then I'm going to choose the same font that I've used here for the name. Okay, so but I want only this on the main page, so I'm going to move here and then move this down. I'm going to increase the size of this so that it's a little bit more, that's bigger and nice. Okay, and then I'm going to increase the size of this as well, make it 13.5. I'm going to make it bold, and yeah, so I'm going to center align this and then make sure that this goes on to the next page. Okay, now this is optional, but if you want you can choose to add a cover image here, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to insert and upload from computer. Okay, so I have a cover image here and I'm going to upload that, and as you can see it's moved down, so I'm just gonna go move this up a little bit and make it nice and centered. So my cover page is ready. Okay, so now I want to work on the next page. Now whenever you if this is the cover page, the next page has to be blank, right? It has to be empty because you start reading on the right side. So I'm going to move this and create a blank page here. So this is going to be permanently blank. Yeah, now as you can see we have a total of 8 pages, which means we need one back page and then one prompts page and then 6 images, right? So first I'm going to create the back page. So now since the back page is created, I'm going to copy paste this text, which is provided to you in the template that I gave, right? And so I'm going to format this properly according to previously the formatting that I've made, and center this. Okay, I'm going to center this on the page. This is a little too, the line spacing is a little too tight, so I'm going to make that 1.5, and then I'm going to make this bold. Okay, so that's it. So our last page is ready. Before this, now we want to add the prompts page, so that will come here, right? I want to create one more page here, so I'm going to add these prompts here. Okay, move this down, and you have to constantly adjust because it's a text-based editing software and not an image-based editing software like Photoshop or InDesign or something. So things move around a lot, so just make sure that you cross-check the positioning of everything. Okay, so I'm going to again increase the spacing of this, make it 1.5, and I don't really like this 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to just make it bulleted. Okay, and again I don't like the Arial font here, so I'm just going to format it according to the previous rest of the formatting. So make sure it's kind of uniform, everything is a little bit uniform, and you're presenting your booklet nicely. Here these are all very joined, so I'm going to do add space after list item, which is going to create space between each of these. Now I'm going to make this bold and then maybe increase it by 2 sizes, this 13. Perfect. Each of your prompts is going to go here, right? If your prompt is very long, then make sure that you use a smaller font size or something. So adjust that and make it only 1 page. If this spills into 2 pages, then you're going to have problem in the final layout and your booklet is going to be messed up. It's going to exceed 16 pages. So please try to avoid that. So this is going to be your prompt part, right? This part, and then these are your page numbers. Now these page numbers are not exactly accurate, they're just placeholders. So I'm going to go up, insert images, and then adjust these page numbers again. Okay, so how do I do that? First of all, it's completely kind of up to you depending upon what your text says, and if you want to arrange your text next to the image. So we'll start, so this is the first text page, right? We leave these first 2 pages alone. Start with page 3. What we can do at this point is insert page numbers, because it's going to be more complicated from now on. Okay, so do insert page numbers, and then I'm going to choose this one in the column, then to page 1, and you see page 2 has showed up here. This has become page 1 and this has become page 2. Okay, so we're going to let that be for now. So now that we have inserted page numbers, we know exactly where we can insert our images. So that's the last thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to let this page be, and I'm going to maybe insert my first image here. Okay, it depends on how you want. I would encourage you to use just like pen and paper and figure out what your layout you want, and use your page numbers and make a layout, and you will know better what you want. Or you can just try with this, but it might take a little more time. So I'm going to, these are 6 images that I have, and I'm going to insert all of them. First one I'm going to insert after page 3, right? So I'm going to go here, insert, and then image, upload from computer, choose image 1. Okay, wonderful. So you see page 4 has been now replaced with the image, and the text has moved down. Okay, so I'm going to move down again and then choose here, then insert, image, upload from computer, and then I'm going to insert this. Now you see this has moved down again. Now as you do this, in one particular point I want to make sure that there are 2 images on side by side. Okay, so I'm going to insert 2 images next to each other. So upload from computer, and then I'll choose image 3. So if you draw this out with the pen and paper, you might be able to visualize this more easily. This does require a little bit of imagination. So this image has been inserted. I will insert one more image right after this. Okay, and then that is going to be this image. So as you can see, so this is one image, and then one more image right after that, and then I'm going to move this down. Okay, then I'm going to insert one image here, so image number 5. Okay, so that's done, and now we need one more image, so which I'm going to insert here right before this. So insert, image, upload from computer, and I'm going to insert the final image, image 6. Okay, so we have a total of 16 pages. See, again this has moved down, so you have to calibrate this and move it up. Okay, I'm going to increase the font of this a little because I feel like it's too small. Maybe make it 12, so that's better. No, actually we have 70. Okay, so it looks like I've done, there is some small errors here, so constantly check for that. There's one random blank page which we don't need, so you can just move it up, and now it is 16. So yes, what I'm going to do is, I don't like the way this looks very much, so I'm just going to increase the font size a little bit so that it's a little bit more readable. Okay, now it's better. So your last page should say 15 and the first page should be blank, right? Go all the way, it's blank. Now for the final step in this Google document, we are going to increase the size of this size of the images and make them full spread. Okay, so for this, click on the image, and then first thing you see is this little box shows up. So you click on break text, and the moment you click on break text, it shows these options. So you leave this alone. Okay, and then here you say fix position on page. That's it. So you let everything else be, right? And then slowly adjust this. Make sure that this stays inside the corner. If you do it slowly enough, you should be able to do this no problem. Okay, just adjust this very carefully. Check for your proportions. Okay, you can also, so if you click like this, now the whole image is filled. You can also click and then crop it if you want. Okay, that's also an option, but for now I'm going to keep it like this. I'm going to do that same thing with others, which is the dialog box appears, click on break text, and then change this from fixed position. And sometimes this kind of error happens, right? So in this case, you just have to make sure you don't click outside. Even if you do click outside, just go back to the image and then drag it to the edge. It's going to be fine. Just drag it to the edge. Okay, and then pull this down and make sure that it's inside the page border. Okay, and then here. Perfect. So now this image is done. So I'm going to do the same thing with all other images, which is now for let's say for some images, if you're having difficulty with exactly making sure this is to the edge, it's okay to leave a little bit of a border. That's up to you, you know. Especially if you are having trouble with proportions, as you know that Google Docs is not an image editing software, right? It's a text editing software, so it doesn't do very well with images. So you can just leave those things by themselves. So I'm done resizing all images. I haven't resized one image just to show you that it's okay. Like if it's okay if there's a particular proportion that you want to maintain and you want to keep it on that, but that's completely fine. Now as you can see, we have a total of 16 pages, which means we have print ready document. Okay, so just cross check everything. You see something has moved here, right? So make sure all of these things are worked out properly. So if something happens like this, if something is moved, I would suggest not to change the image. Rather, go on to the next page. Okay, enter create space here, and then you can remove this and insert your text here. So what this will do is that it will not change the positioning of your image. Okay, if this happens, that's the best way to go about it. Okay, now all our pages are now ready. Okay, so you have your cover page, you have one blank page, you have text pages. This is 1, 2, right? You have one image, third text page, second image, fourth text page, third image, fourth image, fifth text page. I think this is image number 5, and then sixth text page, and then image number 6. Yes, so that's it. Now the last thing that we need to do after we have done this is make sure the page numbers are correct, which is you see here that, so this is basically your text prompt. This is the text prompt that you have to do, and you have to adjust the page numbers here. So my last image is on page number 13, right? Because this is 14, so this is 13. So I'm going to change, that's already correct here. Then the image before that, second image is here, which is page number 11. So I'm going to change that to here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back up and then see the other page numbers, which is 9, 8, 6 and 4. So I'm going to adjust all of those. Okay, so 9, sorry, that's not right, because I'm doing 9, 8, 6 and 4. Okay, So yeah, so that's basically it, right? So your PDF is now ready to be exported. Just make sure the formatting is always right. Okay, just this, let's give it a one final check that everything is correct. This is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16. Perfect. So we have everything in place. Now what you need to do is go to file, but don't download as PDF. Okay, there's an option to download as PDF here. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is go to file and then go to print. Okay, yes, so then you should see this particular dialog box that's going to show up. It's going to load a preview, and then you have to just check once. Okay, check all your pages if everything is correct. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so just make sure all of that is right. There's a little bit of a lag in the system, so just make sure. So there's a little, I've left a little bleed here, right? So yeah, so just make sure you format those things correctly, right? There's an error here, so make sure you format it right. Right, so that's it. So we have all our 16 pages here. It should show 16 pages. Now you're going to leave this same, pages all, pages per sheet, this, margins default, everything you're going to leave it just as it is, no touching this. Just make sure destination is clicked as save as PDF. In case you have a printer connected, sometimes this changes on its own, so make sure this is save as PDF, and then keep these settings as is, and then click on save. So it's going to ask you where it wants you to save, so you can click on your particular, wherever your downloads folder is or whatever. So just click on save. You can rename this, yeah. Okay, so manifesto sample, I'm going to name it A5 PDF. There's a reason for it to say A5 PDF. Okay, so because this A5 PDF will have 16 pages, right? Okay, so I'm going to save it now. Okay, now the next step, it's fairly simple, but make sure you follow the steps clearly. Go into new tab, go to this link, tinyurl.com/make booklet. Okay, very simple, and then click enter. Yeah, and now this is basically a piece of JavaScript software, and it allows you to reformat PDFs into booklets, right, in this particular way. So we're going to choose file and then choose the PDF that we have just saved, manifesto simple A5 PDF 16 pages. You're going to click open. Now it's going to take it in and then format it in a different way. So as you can see, instead of 16 pages, now we have a total of 8 pages. What it has done is it has combined everything. Okay, so you see here. Okay, so don't worry, it's going to combine it correctly. If you see 15 here in the cover page here, it means you can fold this, right? So that it means you're doing this correctly. So this is how you should be able to do it. Okay, and then if you see certain page numbers kind of like 3 and 12 are in the same page, then that makes sense. So these are A4 pages, okay, and we have 8 of these pages. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click here, download. Don't click on print, click on download. Okay, and then I'm going to name this final manifesto 8 pages. Okay, so what you're going to do is going to use 4 A4 papers and print it front and back, right? So when you fold it, you have a total of 8 pages. So I'm going to just save this. Okay, and now if I open the folder where it is downloaded, you can see this is the final manifesto, right? And I'm going to just open it up. So these are view single page. So these are all the pages. So if you printed back to back 4 color printed A4 papers, you're going to have your booklet. You can just, after that, you can just staple it. If the order here is confusing to you, then just like draw it somewhere and write it down somewhere and just cross check everything if everything is right. But if you have arranged your original PDF correctly, right, if you have arranged your Google Doc correctly, then this should not make any error. This software should not make any error. Okay, so if in case you feel that there is some error that's being created after you do this, go back to your Google document, see what errors you have made in making the order. This is the original order of your manifesto, right? And then correct that, and then go back here and re-upload that PDF. Make sure that you use file print PDF and not file download PDF. Don't use this, use print PDF. Okay, so that's it. So as soon as you're done, you can use this PDF and directly print it. So very simple. Please do let me know if you have any questions about this. That's it. Okay, thank you.